This is Talk What You Know Sports. I'm your host, The Ghost, greatest host of sports talk, where we talk sports topics to the grave. As you all know, Andrew Luck of the Indianapolis Colts, the superstar quarterback, is deciding to hang up his cleats at an early age. As a matter of fact, he's the age of 29. As you all know, there were some early NFL greats, if you will, or superstars that have done the same thing. Detroit knows this more than anybody because they had two superstars, Barry Sanders as well as Calvin Johnson, who both retired at the age of 30. Both of those guys were phenomenal athletes for their team, for their city, for the league. Plenty of highlights they left behind to us. A lot of people felt cheated of their greatness because at such an early time they were only able to see 10 years of that greatness. Andrew Luck has followed suit, deciding to hang up his cleats due to injuries. Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson also had similar reasons as to why they decided to step away from the game. All three, what they have in common with their decision is that they want to be able to be as healthy as they can for the long haul in their lives. Andrew Luck, as we know, was an outstanding college quarterback with the University of Stanford, where he had Jim Harbaugh as his coach. His talents transitioned into the NFL, where he was pretty successful. He had a couple of playoff runs. He carried his team to a couple of division titles. Overall, in his career, he passed for 23,671 yards, 2,000 completions, to go with 171 touchdowns with 84.5% passer rating. Andrew Luck's retirement, of course, affects the way Vegas judge the Indianapolis Colts' success for their season. I saw that they recently went from 5th to 21st out of the NFL teams to make it to the playoffs. Their chances to reach the playoffs has dipped to 24% chance by Vegas. And that's not the only thing that is affected by Andrew Luck's retirement. Of course, fantasy football participants, that affects the way they draft or have affected the way that some of them have drafted, as some of them probably picked Andrew Luck to be the top quarterback for the fantasy football league team. As I stated, the Vegas Super Bowl betting odds, of course, is going to be affected by this. Season ticket holders in Indianapolis already were calling for the organization to give their money back. So you have a lot of that going on. You had a lot of fans booing Andrew Luck as he walked off the field in that game against the Chicago Bears in week 3 of preseason. So there's been like a lot of backlash. You've had players to stand up for Andrew Luck as well, such as Aaron Rodgers, most notably, who stated that the Indianapolis Colts fans were wrong for booing him. Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, Patrick Mahomes are just 4 of many NFL quarterbacks and other players to give their thoughts and their well wishes to Andrew Luck. So he was respected by his peers in the NFL, as well as some of the fans who did not boo, of course, who just loved him as being the Indianapolis Colts quarterback. Right now, looks like Jacoby Brissett will be taking over as the play caller for the Indianapolis Colts. They did bring in Brock Osweiler for a visit and I guess a tryout. I don't really have the latest details for you on that, but it looks like the Indianapolis Colts are going to try to move on as quickly as possible. They do have a upcoming Week 1 matchup that they have to get ready for. I believe that they are. Let me see who they're facing. Let you guys know who they're facing in a minute. But they do have to prepare for this upcoming Week 1. So again, they have moved on. Well, they have to move on abruptly. Andrew Luck did not participate in that game against the Bears. He was on the sideline with no uniform on, so therefore he had let them know prior to that he was going to retire. A lot of his teammates, of course, were saddened. T.Y. Hilton, was one of the biggest teammates there who really kind of took it hard because they were close friends, I believe. Not only on the field, but off the field. They have the L.A. Chargers that they're going to face in the 3 o'clock game on Sunday. So they have to get ready for the Chargers out there in L.A. So we'll see how that goes in their first game without Andrew Luck. For more news, notes, Check me out on all social media outlets. And again, feel free to comment and let me know your thoughts about Andrew Luck if you're a Colts fan, if you're not an Indianapolis Colts fan, or if you're just a fan of the NFL. Let me know your thoughts about Andrew Luck's retirement.